All right, so once again, welcome to this afternoon's Smart Nation Together program on this series called the My Smart Ahma Top Picks series. Today, we are going to explore this app called the OneService App and find out how this app can improve our living environment, especially the estate that we stay in and the neighborhood that we go out to and live in the community daily. All right. So this session is supported by the Smart Nation and Digital Government Office, as well as NTUC ULIF. Now, before we begin talking about the features of this app and what it can do for us, I think it is very important for us to understand one thing about Singapore becoming a smart nation, which is that smart nation is about making use of technology to make Singapore a great place to live, work, and play. At the end of the day, whatever applications that the government come up with, whatever tech solutions that different companies come up with, Singapore becoming a smart nation is really about using technology to make Singapore a better home, a better community, a better place for all of us to live, to work, and to play. And today, this app that we are going to talk about, the OneService app, is an app that was created really with the intention to make our living space, to make our community, to make our estates and our neighborhoods a better place, a more beautiful place, a cleaner place, and a place that we are proud to call our home. All right. So as I go into talking about this app, one thing you will realize is that when the government first created this app, it was trying to solve a few problems that residents face quite often, all right, in their lives. And the first thing is that whenever you face a problem in your community, in your neighborhood, all right, and the places that you frequent around your house, once you encounter a problem, for example, if you see the lights along your corridor is spoiled, is faulty, if you see that there are a lot of pigeons crowding around in an area, or if they manage to get some food and the situation is becoming unhygienic, or you see that there's for example shared bicycles that have been not well attended, or maybe in the last picture below where you see a manhole that has been uncovered. This particular picture, I couldn't find one a Singapore example, so I took it from the internet showing a manhole that has been uncovered on a pavement that's overseas. So sometimes when we meet some of these issues in our neighborhood, in our estate, we do not know who to call. We do not know who we can turn to, where we can go to seek help, right? Because sometimes there is just no phone number, all right, at that area. Sometimes we don't have the knowledge of which agency is in charge of that particular area, all right? So one of the common issues that many residents face is that when they meet a problem, they meet an issue in their neighborhoods, they don't know who to call and they don't know how to report, all right? Now, the second problem is that sometimes that there are too many numbers to call, all right? So in some instances, there are signages, all right? There are phone numbers listed on notice boards, on banners, on different information boards, all right? But there are so many numbers, all right? Do we call agency A? Do we call the town council? Or do we call another agency? There are too many numbers to call. We sometimes don't know which is the right agency to call, all right? And sometimes we're having too many numbers. If we want to make a report, if we want to give a feedback, we sometimes have to go down to the notice board, all right, to get the number. But what if we are already no longer in the area? What if we are at home and we do not want to have the hassle of going down, all right? So the second issue that many people face, all right, is that there are too many numbers to call and we cannot remember the number, or we don't know which is the right agency to call. Now, sometimes the hotline may change as well. All right. From time to time, there may be certain hotline changes, there may be certain updates to the numbers. We may not know about these changes. And even if we store the number in our phone, we may call the wrong hotline, right? So, and the fourth issue, all right, besides people not knowing where to call, who to call, don't know what number to call, don't know who to report to, one last issue is that they sometimes don't know what happened after calling, all right? Or, you know, where does the feedback go? Who is following up? What is happening? It's been 3 days since I reported the case. What is happening now, right? So sometimes after we make the report, after we give the feedback, we want to know, all right, who is acting on it, right? We want to know what is happening to it. After 2 to 3 days, the fault is still there. We want to know, is anyone going to follow up, right? So it sometimes frustrates us, right, when we don't know what is happening. Just like this picture show, right? And when we are clueless, we get even more frustrated, all right? And the more we see the problem, the more we see the issue that is still not being solved, all right, the more frustrated we become, all right? So in 2015, the government came out with this app called the OneService App. This is an ongoing effort by the government to provide a convenient channel, all right, for reporting of municipal issues. What are municipal issues? These are issues that we see in our neighborhood, things that we see in our estates, things that are faulty, things that are untidy, things that are not rectified, all right? Municipal issues that affect our neighborhood, affect our estates, all right? Affect the living environment where our home is situated in, all right? So this app is the one-stop service, is the one-stop app, all right, that we can go to regardless of the agency that is following up, regardless of which agency is managing the issue, all right? We just go to this app. It's a one-stop app, one-stop shop. Go there, take photo, report the case. The app's back end, all right, will direct the fault, will direct the issue to the relevant agency. So for you and I, as residents, we just need to report the case. We just need to give feedback. We don't need to worry which number to call. We don't need to worry which agency is following up. We don't need to worry if we called the right number. We don't need all this. We just go to the app, report the case. At the back end, the case will be routed, will be transferred to the relevant agency to follow up. All right? Some key features of this OneService mobile app. Firstly, and I think most importantly to many of us, is the ability for the app to help us report and track municipal issues. So what are some of these issues? If you look at the following bullet points, it could be issues regarding pests in our neighborhood, animals and birds, issues with water, for example, leaking pipes that we observe in the void deck. Perhaps it's issues regarding parks and greenery. It could be a fallen tree. Issues regarding shared bicycles, like the photo I shared earlier of how some of these shared bicycles could be left unattended or left in a mess. It could be about cleanliness in your neighborhood. For example, it could be a dustbin that is unattended or not is overflowing, all right, and not tended to. It could be the other example I gave through the pictures, uncovered a manhole, a drain pipe, a drain cover. So it could be a feedback on roads and pathways. It could be on facilities in your HDB estates, all right? It could also be construction sites near your home where you feel that the noise is above a certain level and is starting to affect your ability to stay at home, all right? You could give feedback on that too, all right? And sometimes we, once in a while, see abandoned supermarket trolleys, right? In our estate below our void deck. We can report such cases too. And finally, if there's nothing that your feedback, all right, is not able to fit into any of these categories, you can then go to this last category called others. Now, besides being able to report, this app also allows you to track. And when I say track, it means the app will update you and let you know what has happened to your feedback, whether someone has looked into it, whether are they rectifying the fault, the relevant agency is rectifying the fault, and when the problem is solved, all right, the app will also notify you and tell you that the problem is solved and that someone has rectified the issue, all right? So this app allows you to both report and track municipal issues that you see in your neighborhood or estate. Now, apart from this feature, there are other features of the app as well. So another feature that is quite popular is this app allows residents to participate in surveys. Surveys on improvements to your estate, surveys on how to make improvements to cleanliness, all right? And these surveys will be monitored by the respective agencies, and they will use your feedback, all right, to improve some of the municipal facilities, all right, that you have. The third key feature is that this app allows residents to also book community facilities. So for example, if you need a field for some activities, if you need to book a room, you can also use the book community facilities function, all right, to be able to know what are the facilities that is within the vicinity of your home. And they will also, the app will also tell you what are some of the free facilities, what are some of the facilities that you will need to pay a fee to use, all right? And finally, this app has also been integrated with the parking app, the parking.sg app, and it will allow you to make parking arrangements if you are a driver, or if you want to search for nearby car parks, all right? The app also allows you to look for those parking information, right? Now, I have completed the first part of today's lesson, which is to share with you why the government created this OneService app, the benefits of using this app, and the key features of using this app. And I'm now going to move into the step-by-step guide, all right, to use the OneService app. And if you can, I would like to invite you to take out your mobile phones and download this app if you have not done so, all right? So this is a step-by-step guide. So I'll be going through a step-by-step process of how to download and how to use, all right? So among the many audience that we have today, the various participants, I know that some of you are quite advanced. So I will go a bit slower for the benefit of those who may not be familiar with this app, so that they can catch up, all right? So I will go a bit slower, and if you are faster, then you can explore other functions of the app, all right? But try to stay with us so that we can keep pace with everyone, all right? So depending on what phone you use, if you are using an Apple phone, all right, you can scan the QR code on the left of the screen, or if you are using a phone that uses the Google Play Store, you can scan the QR code on the right. Now, when you scan the QR code, it will bring you directly to the respective app stores to download the OneService app. Now, if you do not have the QR code scanning function, you can open up the App Store or the Play Store, and over there, search for OneService, all right? Take note, OneService should be in one word, should be connected together, all right? And there should not be any spacing in between. If not, you will not be able to find the app, all right? Just going to give us a few seconds to download this app and find this app. Now, when you arrive at the App Store or the Play Store and you have managed to find the OneService app, you will be able to see this page pop up, all right? And then you can download the icon, or rather, you can click on the download icon, all right? If you are using the Apple App Store, this is the logo, the icon that you will see. If you're using the Google Store, sometimes I think the word that you see is just download, all right? And after you have downloaded, you can, if you are using Apple phone, you can just click on the open button. If you're using the phone that uses the Google Play Store, sometimes they will have another button that says install, all right? And you need to click that button, install, and then followed by open. Okay, so it should be quite straightforward. All right. Very good. And okay, now this page, sorry. Now, once you have uh, opened up the app, all right, this would be the first page that you see, all right. Now, if you have used this app before, you will not be able to see this page because you just need to log in once, all right. So if you have already used this app before, just bear with us as I guide everyone through the registration process, all right. So when you open up the app for the very first time, this is the page that you will see, okay. And this page basically requires you to register, okay. And there are 4 ways that you can register. The first way is by logging in through Facebook, all right. If you have a Facebook account, you may want to consider logging in by Facebook, all right. So you just click on login by Facebook. Your app will ask you for permission to go to Facebook, and then Facebook will also ask you for permission to get connected to the OneService app. All right. So if you want to log in with Facebook, say yes to those permissions. All right. Then they will connect Facebook with the OneService app. If you prefer to log in with your Google account, for example, if you have got Gmail, if you have got a Google account, you click on login with Google, and then a page will pop up to ask you to log into your Google account so that they can connect the Google account with the OneService app. And the third method is that to log in with SingPass, all right? And so if you have your SingPass password with you, or if you're using SingPass mobile, you can click login with SingPass, all right? And finally, last but not least, if you do not want to log in with Facebook, do not want to log in with Google or with SingPass mobile, you can always click sign up, all right? And basically you can sign up. So if you look at the top left of your screen, you click on the sign up button. There's a few information there that they will require of you, things like your name, your contact number, and then once those are just simple information that you need, including your email address. Then once you click register or OK, they'll set up an account for you. All right. So 4 different ways. Which way is better? There isn't any single way that's better. All right. All are different login methods, whichever is more convenient for you. All right. So usually, after you have logged in for the first time, you do not need to log in again in future. All right. The app is able to recognize your account details, and subsequently, whenever you use this app, it will log in on your behalf. Of course, there is a function when you get into the app where you can log out. All right. So you could log out after every use, just that subsequent times when you log in, you have to re-log in again. All right. So the useful feature here is that after you log in for the first time, if you do not log out, all right, then the app will automatically log you in subsequent times. All right, let's proceed on. And after you have successfully logged in, all right, after you have successfully logged in, this is the first page that you see. All right, the app will ask you for permission to use your location. Right, the app will ask you for permission to use your location. And the reason why the app asks you to do that is because there are some features where sometimes you want to report a case, right? And if the app is able to detect your permission, if the app is able to detect your location, then you don't have to go through the hassle of finding your location when you want to report the case, right? So I would suggest that you allow the app to detect your location while using the app. All right, I repeat, I would recommend that you allow the app to use your location only while using your app. That means when you close the app, it will not be able to know your location. All right, but whenever you open the app, it will be able to detect your location. And my recommendation is that this feature is useful because when you, like I mentioned earlier, when you report a case, if it's able to detect your location, it straight away shortlist, your surrounding location to you, so that you don't have to go through a long list to find the location where you're reporting the case. Sometimes when you book facilities, the app can detect where you are. It can straight away find the nearby facilities for you. And also for people who drive, if you allow them, the app to use your location, straight away it can detect the nearby car park for you. You don't have to go through the long list, all right? But it's totally up to you, all right? Now, so once you have gone through the location permission, all right, this is the page that you will see, all right? And so this is the dashboard, all right? A dashboard basically is the main page of your app where you can be able to play around the app, where you're able to access all the key features of the app, all right? So this is the main page of the app. Let me just highlight a few functions of this dashboard of this main page, all right? The first thing you will see at the top, all right, is if you had allowed the app to use your location, if you had allowed the app to use your location, you will see your current location at the top of the app, all right? So when I was preparing for this lesson, I was doing it at Punggol, all right? So that's why when I took a picture of this page, it says Punggol, because at that point in time when I was doing the lesson, I was at Punggol, all right? So if you are staying at Choa Chu Kang, for example, then Choa Chu Kang will appear there. If you're staying at Clementi, you will see Clementi appear there, all right? So I'm sorry, it doesn't show where you stay, but basically where you are right now, that location will be reflected there, all right? So if you're using the app at Ang Mo Kio, on top, it will say Ang Mo Kio. If you are at Bedok, the top of the app will say Bedok, all right? Only if you have allowed the app to use your location, okay? Now, besides seeing your location, you will also be able to see environmental information, all right? So if you realize on the right-hand side at the top, you will see a cloud, all right? Basically, the cloud is showing you the current temperature, okay? You will also be able to see the PMI index in your area right now, right? And if you click on the top bar, which is either the temperature, the weather, or the location, your current location, a pop-up will appear to show more information, all right? So you can tell if it's partly cloudy or if it's if there's some light rain. You can see the PSI rate, all right? And also, they will tell you in your current location, what is the dengue condition, all right? So this is quite a useful small little information for you when you're using this app, okay? Now, next part, I will introduce the key features of this app, all right? Now, first of all, the first button that you see, it says here, what say you, all right? Now, this is the button for you to click if you want to participate in surveys, okay? So when you click on it, and you can try clicking on it now, it will go to this page where it says My Surveys, all right? And this is the page where you, if there are more than one surveys in your neighborhood, in your area, you can scroll, all right? But so depending on where you are right now, there could be a few surveys taking place. But from where I was, this was the only one, sentiments on neighborhood issues, all right? And you can click on it, and then more information about the survey will appear to explain to you who is conducting the survey and why they're conducting the survey. And then when you scroll up, all right, you can then answer those questions, okay? So this is quite straightforward, all right? So if you are free, if you have some free time at home, or if you're on public transport and you're looking for things to do, check out this segment called What Say You, all right? And there could be various surveys for you to give your feedback on. And I think these surveys are good because I think in order to build a nice neighborhood, a nice estate, we all have a part to play in it. And if we can give our feedback, if we can give our ideas to make improvements, then we can all help contribute to making a nice neighborhood for all of us, right? Okay, so this is the What Say You function, okay? Now, the second function is the Book Facilities function. And over here, you can search for facilities that are available for use. Some are free, while some require a usage fee, okay? So once you click on the Book Facilities function button, this page will appear, and basically it'll ask you a few simple questions like what facility are you looking for? You can say you're looking for open view, you're looking for meeting room, which location would you prefer to book facilities from? So when you click on this which location, a whole list of location will appear, and you just click which estate you are interested to book facilities from. All right, and then they will ask you what is the date and time that you need the space for, how many people are you expecting, and last part is what are some of the amenities. Okay, so for example, you need a microphone, you need a sound system, you need air condition in that place. So you just click the relevant buttons, and finally you click submit. Then a list of results will appear. All right, so for example, I search for a field. All right, and then all the various fields that are available in the vicinity of my estate will appear. They will also tell you whether is it free of charge, or maybe some field that require a booking fee, right? So you can scroll through the list and see which one is more relevant for you. Okay, so this is the book facilities function. Now we go to the more I wouldn't say important, but the next function is called the submit case function. Now this is the one that most people will use, because they will use the OneService app to report issues that they face in their neighborhood. All right, so you go to submit case if you want to report a municipal issue to the relevant agency to take action. All right, when you click on submit case, okay, you will see this whole list of categories. Okay, so depending on the phone you use, sometimes the layout will be a bit different. You may have to scroll up or scroll to the right or to the left, because there are quite a number of categories. All right, but these are some of the categories that I mentioned earlier, whether is it pest issues or shared bicycle, or feedback on construction sites or facilities in your HDB estates. All right, quite recently there's a new category that appeared there called the safe distancing. So for example, if you are out and about doing your grocery shopping or out for dinner with your family, and you see that, you know, perhaps there's a group of fellow residents who are not respecting the safe distancing guidelines, and but you sometimes feel inappropriate to go up to them, but you want to make sure that the relevant authority is notified and can come and give advice to the group, you can use this app to also report on this. Okay, so this first page after you have clicked submit case shows you all the categories, all right, that you can report cases on. All right, next I will go into how to submit the cases. All right, so I mentioned earlier, you will see all the categories. You need to choose the most relevant category to the case you want to submit. All right, so there are a number of categories. Choose the most relevant category to the issue that you want to report. All right, and once you have clicked on the relevant category, a subcategory will appear. All right, because some of these categories is very wide ranging. Facilities, for example, facilities in HDB estates. There are so many facilities, right? So we need to help the relevant agency to narrow down, all right, to the right area, all right, of your report, so that they can zoom in, okay, to the fault, to the issue that you're reporting on. All right, so for this example, you can click on facilities in HDB estate. All right, and you will see that there are so many other subcategories there that appear. Things like lighting maintenance. Is it regarding a maintenance of your car park? It could be, you know, giving a feedback on the bulky waste in your common area, or talking about maintenance for your playground or fitness facilities in your neighborhood. If you click on cleanliness, all right, there's a subcategory on dirty public areas, overflowing litter bin, or high-rise littering. All right. If you click on, for example, construction sites, all right, the subcategory is construction noise. Okay. Some of this feedback goes directly to various partners. So for example, if you want to report an issue on abandoned trolleys, all right, then some of the various supermarkets, okay, will appear. You click, it will direct you somewhere else to report on abandoned trolleys. If you click on parks and greeneries, you can give feedback on fallen trees, fallen branches, overgrown grass, all right? Or perhaps you want to report an issue on maintenance of park facilities, all right? So you could play around with the various categories and subcategories, but choose the one that's most relevant to the issue that you're reporting or you want to give feedback on, all right? Next, once you have clicked on the subcategory, all right, the main report will appear, okay? So for example, I want to give a feedback on lighting maintenance, okay? For example, I come home after work one evening and I see that the lights in my lift is flickering, the lights along my corridor is down, and I want to give a feedback, right? So I click on facilities in HDB estates, and then I click lighting maintenance, and this second page will appear. This is where I give more information, all right? Now this part is critical. You don't need to give a long report. You just need to give some simple information to help the agency in charge be able to identify exactly where is the location of the fault. All right, the key point here is not to trouble residents to give a long report, but simple enough information for the agency to know the exact area, exact location of the fault, so that they can be able to in quick time come and rectify the issue. All right. So this particular report page, you can play around with your on your app. But if you're looking at my screen, then I gave the example earlier about, for example, I came home one night and I saw that the lights in my lift is flickering. So I take a photo and then I click on add photo. All right. Now, those fields, all right, in the report that has an asterisk, a red asterisk, are compulsory information that you need to put in. All right. So things like the photo, all right, details, location, these are important because without this information, the agency will not be able to identify, okay, where is the fault. All right. So you don't need to, you can put a maximum of 3 photos, but sometimes 1 or 2 photos is good enough just to help the agency know the area, which area you're talking about. All right. Because sometimes in your void deck, in your estate, some areas look similar. Okay. So take photos, upload it, provide details. So you can say block 123, lift B, lights faulty. All right. You could also say playground beside block 456, Hougang Avenue 1. All right. The swing is faulty, or playground is dirty, or you can say litter bin below block 123 at Choa Chu Kang overflowing. All right, so just give very basic information like what block and what is the problem. All right, you can also say when did you see it, so you choose the date and the time. This is useful because sometimes someone else has also reported the case. All right, then you can also know for the agency to know that actually the problem has been rectified or not rectified. All right, maybe you're the second one that reported it, and the agency can then know that, hey, after the first report has come in, it has still not rectified yet. Okay, so giving a date and a time that you saw the issue, you saw the fault is good. All right, and then the next item or the next detail that they need from you is where did you see it. So this is the exact location. So when you click on it, all right, if you have given permission, all right, for the app to use your location, then you can find the location, the right block, and then you click OK. The address, the location of that fault will then go there. And then finally, some other optional information is some landmarks. Okay, whether is it along the corridor, is it in the lift, or is it beside certain unit number. Okay, that information is optional, And once you're done, you click submit case, and yep, all is good. Once you click submit case, if your form is good, okay, if you look at my form, I put that live light's not working, put the date and the time, I selected the location, and I give some extra details like in the live, and then I click submit case, all right? And once you have clicked submit case, it will go back to your dashboard, all right? I mentioned the dashboard is your main homepage, so this is what you will see, and then a new case will appear here, all right? So when you're at your dashboard, you will be able to see the words on the top left, all right? Acknowledge, which means that you have successfully submitted the case and the app acknowledges that a case has been reported, all right? Now, so does that mean that's all? Yes, in terms of reporting cases, that's all you need to do, okay? Now, so how do you track cases? I mentioned earlier, sometimes when we give feedback, we report a case, we report some issues in our neighborhood, we call them, we email them, we actually don't know what happened, right? So sometimes it makes us even more frustrated that we don't know, after 2-3 days, still nothing happened, all right? It makes us a bit more upset, all right? But this app allows you to track cases, okay? So after you have made the report successfully, on your dashboard, you will see the case says acknowledge, all right? And you can see some minor details like the picture will appear, lighting maintenance will appear, because you reported a case on lighting maintenance, and the location will also appear there. When you click on it, when you click on the case details will appear, right? The case details will appear, and it will tell you case acknowledged. That means the app has submitted your case. Now, when the relevant department, whether is it a town council, HDB, LTA, NParks, PUB, whichever agency, start working on it, means they are sending an engineer down to rectify, they're sending a technician down to investigate, the case will be updated to working on it, all right? Then you will know that the relevant agency are working on your case, all right? And finally, all right, after a few days, when they have changed the lights, when they have rectified the fault, they will then close the case, all right? Which is why if you look at the dashboard again, you realize that while the case on the left is the most recent case, right? We submitted this case about the lighting maintenance in the lift. It says acknowledge. There are 2 other cases on the right that says closed, which means it has been rectified, all right? So this app updates you on the progress of your case, the agency looking into it, working on it, and finally, when the fault is rectified, it will also tell you the case is closed, okay? And so to know details of the case, just click on it, all right? And then the page on the right will pop up. Now, finally, besides knowing how to submit the case, being able to book facilities, and being able to participate in surveys, some other minor features, I wouldn't say minor, some other features that may be useful for you or for your family members is the ability to find parking or to even pay for parking, all right? So if some of you are drivers or car owners, this next part will interest you. If not, just bear with me for a while before we move on to the next part, okay? So if you know which car park you are in already, all right? If you are familiar with how to use parking.sg, you can just click on the start parking function, and then the picture in the center will appear, all right? And then you can adjust your timing, put in your end time, and then your total cost will appear. And since you already know what is your car park, the car park that you are in, you select car park, you enter your vehicle details, and the next step is then to process your payment, right? But if you do not know which car park you're in, the name of your car park, you don't know these details, all right? Or if you want to look for parking details, perhaps you want to choose a cheap parking or nearest parking to the place that you're going, then you choose the button that says find parking, all right? So once again, if you are already know which car park you're in, or you already know which car park you're going to, click on the start parking function. But if you want to look for parking, click on find parking, and then the picture on the right will appear. All right. So the app will ask you to select your time, and then select your vehicle type, perhaps motorcycle or bus or motor vehicle. And then they'll ask you to sort your parking by whether you want it by the cheapest available parking or the nearest to your current location. All right. Again, if you have allowed the app permission to know your location, then it can detect where is your nearest location, nearest car park to you right now. All right. So it's quite simple. Once you put in the time, you select your vehicle type, then you can search by either the cheapest parking in the area or the nearest car park to where you are right now. Okay. All right. I've come to the end of today's lesson, and so I hope that this session today really help you to understand, okay, how to use the OneService app and how you can use this app to really give feedback, report faulty issues that you see in your neighborhood or in your estate, so that the right agency, all right, can work on it, can attend to it. Like I mentioned earlier, you can also use this app to search for parking. You can also use this app to participate in surveys, all right, to make your neighborhood a better place, all right? And the reason why the government is doing all this really is to make it easier and more convenient for residents to be able to report issues and fault in their neighborhood, so that this fault and issues can be rectified in a timely manner. It can be solved quickly, and the right information gets to the right agency for them to act on it. All right. And at the end of the day, this is what the government is trying to do with technology, using technology to make the lives of citizens and residents better and more convenient.